Scam artist Top Cat is a sad and lonely figure in the backstreets of New York. Until he stumbles upon good-hearted Benny, and together they formulate a daring plan to steal the diamonds of the biggest crime boss in town. Hey guys! This is Cartoon Recapped. Today we'll show you a 2015 family comedy cartoon called Top Cat Begins. Be aware of heavy spoilers. Sit back and enjoy the show. Top Cat comes to New York City when he hears a horrible sound. He told the cat to stop playing it. The cat agrees and says he needs to make more money to buy dough, but Top Cat says that he would help him if he gets most of the money. The cat agrees and says his name is Benny the Ball, and the two make money with Benny playing the violin with horrible skills. When it was the end of the day, TC suggests they should go to Mrs. B's place. On the way they bump into two orphans who stole cakes from the bakery. Just then an officer called Officer Charlie Dibble comes and tries to arrest them, but TC defends them and tells him they had been with him all day. Dibble trusts him and leaves the orphans. Then the orphans tell Top Cat about Bad Dog, and if they don't get enough money he would burn the orphanage down. Top Cat says he would talk to him, but Bad Dog beats him before he could say a word. TC and Benny go to Mrs. B's place where they are about to eat dinner, but they get stew. While Benny is enjoying it, TC doesn't like it and suggests if he and Benny would work together he should be cool and he shouldn't eat horrible food. The next day TC and Benny pull cons on the New York residents, which causes the New York City Police Department to be onto them, and they choose Officer Dibble to spy on the two. Later that day, TC and Benny go into an apartment and try to con more people when they ring the doorbell, but the person turns out to be Officer Dibble and he chases them all over the city until he loses them. TC and Benny then bump into Bad Dog and company, and Bad Dog threatens them to stop playing cons and throw them in a garbage can. Soon they find out that they work for Mr. Big, and TC plans to rob the place by switching the bags that Bad Dog has. Once they rob the place, TC chooses Benny to keep. Later in the night, TC and Benny are at the Starlight Club when they get taken to the kitchen and get knocked out. The two suddenly find themselves in Mr. Big's office. Mr. Big then forces them to tell him where his diamonds are, and TC suggests that he would show him. Mr. Big agrees and tells Bad Dog to go with them. When they got to Benny's house, TC asks him where the diamonds were, but Benny forgot, so TC tricks Bad Dog to get eaten by a chair, and the two escape from the house. The next day, Mr. Big's goons make wanted posters for Top Cat and Benny, so the two call Officer Dibble to help them, but Dibble suggests Granny Dibble should look after them, so Dibble escorts them to the train station. Once they get to their destination, they meet Granny Dibble, who isn't what the two think she is. She then forces them to do chores and eat crackers. While painting the fence, Top Cat gets knocked out by three cats from the circus that got fired because they let out the lion, and Top Cat agrees to help the three cats whose names are Choo Choo, Fancy and Brain, but instead of helping them he tricks them into doing his chores. Later that day they go to get ice cream, but on the way, a gangster spots TC and Benny and reports them to Bad Dog. Once they get back, they find Bad Dog and company, and they try to kill them, but luckily Granny Dibble saves them. Top Cat and Benny return to New York in the evening, and TC gets mad at Benny because he spent money on a chocolate bar. Benny then feels sad and walks away. Later that night, Benny gets home and his mom tells him she sold the diamonds to a club owned by Mr. Big called the Starlight Club, so Benny goes on a mission to steal the diamonds back. Later that night, TC goes into Officer Dibble's house and tells him about Benny left him, and Dibble suggests that they should find him. Meanwhile, Benny sneaks into the club and disguises himself as a singer, but then he gets caught and is chased around the club. Suddenly TC and Dibble arrive but get chased down by an angry mob, and Benny gets captured by Mr. Big's goons. To save Top Cat, Dibble sends him to Florida. While at the airport, he realizes that all he needs is friends and returns to New York. Then Choo Choo, Brain and Fancy and they agree to help Top Cat. Then Top Cat agrees for the guy to help, and he reveals his name is Spook, a pizza cat who lost his true love Eleanor the motorcycle because of Mr. Big, and the five make a plan to rescue Benny the Ball. Suddenly Mr. Big's goons shoot a pizza box, and all there is a recording of Top Cat's voice, and Top Cat disguises himself as a businessman and makes the residents chase down Mr. Big. To get away, Mr. Big climbs up a chain. To stop him, Top Cat and Benny cut the chain. The next day, Top Cat apologizes to Benny and tells his gang to meet him at Hoagie's Alley. Meanwhile, the residents and Dibble turn Mr. Big in. Later that day, Top Cat buries Mr. Big's diamonds under the alley, but it ends up giving it to the two orphans, and Top Cat's gang end the film by singing the original theme song. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.